Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. This is the second video of the series. We are restoring the finish of this 1962 Corvette. And if you have been following along in the first video, we did 3 test sections, and we found that the wet sanding followed by a light polish is going to be the best way to go. There are plenty of decent sanders out there dedicated for wet sanding that will even give you a constant feed of moisture to keep those sand discs clean that are attached to the sander. But alternatives, you can attach a sanding disc to a regular dual action polisher such as the 21mm Boss polisher here from Griot's Garage and get the same results. It'd be great if I had a third arm coming out on my back so I could keep spraying a little bit of moisture. Introducing water to the panel again will flush the either the clear coat or the single stage or the mix that we're bringing up here and flush it away to keep the pad clean and effective. The polisher is set on the lower second, between the second and the third speed setting. Not much pressure, and I'm sanding until I see a decent amount of the milky white or pink foam frothing up from the surface. That means we are bringing up material. Now in this case, as I mentioned in the first video, there was a layer of single stage paint, and then that was topped with a 50-50 single stage / clear coat mix, and that's what we're bringing up, a light pink. It would be a deep red if it was complete and only single stage. And then, obviously, the next step is going to be removing all of that residue. As you can see, let me show you the microfiber. We are bringing up a decent amount of the material of the single stage clear mix, and that's removing those imperfections, the light and topical ones anyways. The package did not give us much room to go after the deeper ones. However, it's still going to be a huge turnaround. And since the fact is we're removing larger scratches with smaller scratches, this is the haze left over from the scratching, so to speak, from the 3000 grit discs. And this can actually easily be removed with a polish pad and a finishing or a polishing liquid. In this case, I have a glaze, which is LVR 404, has a little bit of acrylic in it. So that will lay down a nice foundation layer of protection as we are correcting as well. And by the way, I have 3 dots of a correction fluid on there that is going to be 3D ACA 500, and I'm mixing the LVR 404 with it. Something I do often. I often like to mix correction fluids together to get exactly what I'm looking for on the particular finish I'm working on, if that makes sense. I'm sure you can already see a huge difference through the residue of the polish. Let me remove that. And that was just equal to 2 passes. That was crisscross up and down, then left and right. And you can repeat that process as often as you would like to get the results that you're looking for. I'm just going to stop right now and bring you guys in so you can already see the difference between the 2 sections. I will decide to go over the section one more time to really clean it up, but other than that, the only thing that's left behind are maybe 1 or 2 of the real deep scratches and that we are not going after in this particular package. Let's get some numbers behind what we're seeing between the different sections, the section that we haven't touched yet, the section we have wet sanded, and the section that we have cleaned up. We've gone from the high 70s, low 80s, to the higher 90s, and that was in no time at all, with hardly any effort. All right, let's continue on a bit. And then to point out the limitations of what we're doing here as well, these are the deeper gouges that are left behind. Okay, let's pause a little bit here and talk a little bit about masking tape. There are a few ways you can utilize masking tape in a situation like this. One, to protect yourself and the body panels. I have between 14 and 15 mils here, so I personally am not concerned anywhere on this vehicle. But you can use masking tape to do, number one, stop the mess from getting in between the seams, down in between the body panels, and you can use thickness of pinstripe tape. That's what I'm using here, and that will just keep everything up on the surface, and that'll cut down on your cleanup time afterwards. You could also use that exact same type of tape, and 3M is a good brand, to protect the peaks or body lines so you don't sand through, burn through, or polish through them. You can also use the masking tape to protect the edges of panels, and it's going to have a dual purpose for me, as I'll use it to protect the edges, both edges, of the panel that I'm working on and the panel that is right next to it, but that will also keep some of that residue from the wet sanding from falling down in between the cracks. And then you could simply reuse that piece of masking tape when you move from working on the trunk to the back quarter panel by simply just peeling it up, lifting it up, and sliding it over. Then, of course, you could use a masking tape to protect emblems and exposed seals and rubber grommets, and then we continue on with our correction and turning around the paint on this gorgeous American icon. I'll catch you guys in the next video, the third installment.